The following content is sponsored and does not necessarily reflect the views of WATD Radio. Now, Paul Ponders on 95.9 WATD. Be a part of the show. Call or text 781-837-4900. Now, here's your host, Paul Solano.
Greetings and thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD, presented by Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus, where they have fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors. Well, my name is Paul Solano of PSNL Marketing Group, and as you probably already know, I also wear another hat as General Manager of Pearl Street Station Restaurant in Malden. And a huge shout out to Chef Felipe Fitzpatrick and his culinary team. Chef Felipe is a loyal listener through the Odyssey app. So hello to Chef Felipe. As always, we have lots of activity at Pearl Street Station this weekend. You, Chef Joaquin Pizziola Muhammad, holding down the fort with my grade 12-15 staff of John, Jen, Nicole, and Dennis. And Chef Felipe, I must say that prime rib that you made last night was absolutely tremendous. It's always awesome. It really is. But last night, was just as we said, una vaca bonita. That 14-ounce cut of the prime rib was great, and it was nice to see someone get an 18-ounce cut. And all I remember about a month or so ago, someone got that 22-ounce cut, which was huge, but delicious as always. So this is this is show number 42, and it's an absolute honor and pleasure to be on WATD in the slot of The Boiling Point with Arthur Boyle. Many thanks to Arthur for filling in last Saturday while I was on a huge catering event in Medford. Happy belated 50th anniversary to Jim and Jean A. from Medford. I worked with their daughter Christina at Live Nation at the Pavilion for many years, and it was so nice to just reconnect with the family. And it was a great celebration, and it was great doing the catering with my wonderful staff. If I sound a little bit out of breath, it's because I was running upstairs. I was in a little traffic, which we'll hear about in a few minutes. But with us, behind the glass, Tim McKenney. How are you, Tim?
Oh, doing all right, Paul. Another beautiful Saturday here at Broadcast House.
Absolutely. Yeah. Without a doubt, it really is. And I missed the celebration of your 25th anniversary last week, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Did you get that gold watch?
No. I haven't heard anything about it. We may... Rob Hackla might know something about it. I don't know. That's news to me. Do you have a hand in that at all?
I don't.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
We're going to have to put a watch on that. I'll ponder it, too. Okay? I'll ponder it.
He should have told one, folks.
There you go. And speaking of Rob Hackla, that's a nice segue. And the reason why I was in traffic is because it seems like everyone was on the expressway heading towards Hingham Lumber for the grand reopening. So I think we should maybe do a check-in with Rob and Larry. Is that possible?
It is.
Rob,
hey, Paul, good afternoon.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you, Paul?
I'm doing well, thanks. Doing well, living the dream. It's all good.
Yeah, what a beautiful Saturday it is here at Hingham Lumber, Route 3A in Cohasset. We are down here at Hingham Lumber today for the grand reopening celebration. It's so much fun. So many people are down here. We got a lot of great families. There's lots of free food and drink available. They have an ice cream truck. Larry and I got some ice cream sundaes. Lots of giveaways, lots of raffle items. Touch-A-Truck is here. Bring the kids down. They can check out the front loader and the dump trucks and the cranes. And this is all to celebrate the grand reopening of the store, Paul. You want to come on down and take a look inside the store at Hingham Lumber, Route 3A in Cohasset, and check out the beautiful layout of inside the store. A lot of great deals. Greg Brasso is here from Veterans Voice. He's also here. And Larry and Greg, I'll tell you, we are excited to be here at Hingham Lumber today, aren't we, guys?
Oh, yeah. Well, the weather cooperated, and there's all kinds of Touch-A-Trucks and touching equipment all going on around here.
The kids love the horns.
Yeah, they do.
They do. They've been blowing them all the morning.
Yeah, this is great. So come on down here to Hingham Lumber, Route 3A in Cohasset. We're going to be here till 3 o'clock today, and Paul will check in with you one more time during your show. So come on down to Hingham Lumber, Route 3A in Cohasset. It's the Better Builders Yard since 1947. And they are celebrating their grand reopening today, along with Larry and Greg. I'm Rob for WATD.
Well, that's great. And Rob, if we could keep it with you for a second, I want to say hi to Larry and hi to Greg. And
yeah, absolutely. I got both of them here.
Absolutely. It's great to hear the voice. And Greg, I just want to give a shout out. I'm in the Malden area, Malden-Medford area, and the signal comes in loud and clear, and I enjoy listening to your show on Thursday evenings. And you and Wolfie have a great show. And I just want to applaud you for doing a great job, and thank you for your service.
Well, Paul, this is it's quite an honor to be invited down here at Hingham Lumber with Rob and Larry, and it's a festive affair, and the kids are all having fun, and there's ice cream cones and all kinds of snacks going on. So, Rob, I see you.
Yeah, no, I know. It was so great. And I know Paul just wanted to say he enjoys listening to your show all the way up in Malden. It's his home base.
Well, we thank you, Paul. And Paul made a nice donation not too long ago to the Veterans Voice Food Drive. And, Paul, we thank you very much. And if there's ever anything we can do for you, maybe you'd like to come in on some Thursday night.
That would be fabulous. I would really enjoy doing that. And it would be really an honor and a pleasure. And I think you have a food pantry coming up on, would it be next week or was it this past week?
When's the next?
The next, it's going to be in October.
The
it's second Thursday.
Right. Second Thursday.
In October. And we've given away about 500,000 pounds of food over the past 50 months. And unfortunately, Paul, the food insecurity issue is still at hand.
Wow. Well, keep up the great work, my friend, and we'll catch up with you soon. And Larry Nelson's there. Larry, hope Larry's doing well.
Yeah, Larry's here.
I just had some of the ice cream from the ice cream truck that was here. It's delicious. But Hingham Lumber has been always one of my favorite hardware stores to come to. And I was here maybe 2 months ago and went inside, and I couldn't get over the renovations. It's just beautiful. And there's always someone here that can help you find what you're looking for, which is just great.
That's fabulous. So why don't we check back after we have our next segment and commercials? And Rob, I want to hear all about your recent vacation.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to, Paul. Thanks for having us back.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, my friend. It's just a question of us sticking together as a team and making it happen. So one more time for our listeners out there, where are you?
In Cohasset, we're here for the grand reopen. Can you hear the kids beeping the horns in the trucks? Can you hear that, Paul?
I can. I just heard a Tonka truck.
Yeah, the kids are so excited. They get to go in the actual Hingham Lumber dump trucks today. And also check out, there's going to be another crane demonstration of the big crane. They did that at 11:30. I think there's another one. Jennifer, is it at 1:30 they're doing another demonstration? What is it again? Oh, the boom truck. Yeah, Jennifer. So what time is that?
At 1:30.
1:30. That's Jennifer Very from Hingham Lumber, Paul. So come on down here, and lots of great stuff to see for the whole family.
Absolutely. Well, maybe we'll hear from Jennifer on the flip side. And I enjoyed listening to her during the week, during all the promos, and really looking forward to hopefully stopping by on the way back to Malden.
You got it, Paul. We'll be here till 3.
Awesome, my friend. We'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Mr. Rob. Well, this is the time I believe we have. Okay, Shelley. Okay, we have a sign here. My computer in the office isn't working, but there's a sign that Shelley Wolf is on the line. So this is time for the Pod Pro Entertainment Techie Toolbox segment with Techie Talonzo Amos and Shelley Wolf, global media firm owner of Toolbox Entertainment, vice president of Technology Literacy for Pod Pro Entertainment, and a past Paul Ponders guest, episode number 35. Shelley, you're on the line.
Good morning, Paul.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I am doing well, thank you. Thanks for asking. All good in the hood, as they say, right?
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. Well, I know you're busy planning for that trip to Japan, right?
I am. We got about another week and a half, and then we're off.
Wow.
We'll set sail.
Wow. That is great. Yeah, so you have so many things to do, so many details to work through, but I know you're on top of them, just like you're on top of providing our listeners in Paul Ponders land with some wonderful tips, some techie tips. So what do you have for us today?
Yes, today is going to be about your subscription checkup. Stop paying for what you don't use. I don't know about you, but why does this matter? With everything that is moving to subscription models, streaming apps, cloud storage, and even groceries, people often are paying for services that we forget about, that we've signed up. And Paul, I don't know about you, but I know that it's tough to remember all these subscriptions, because if they were on auto renewal, it just happens and you don't even think about it. Your money's just coming right out of the wallet. So I am sure that we are all paying for things we don't even realize. So today, what I want to talk about is having a real honest conversation about, do we know how many subscriptions we are all actually paying for right now? It might be your Netflix, the Hulu, the cloud storages, fitness apps, even digital newspapers, our music subscriptions. It's really easy to lose track. So I know one tip that I can share is that I use Google Sheets to track my budget and subscriptions, but you can still easily forget them, and even to forget to log them, because it's like, oh, wait, I need to be a subscription right now. Whether, again, it might be something fun you're out doing, and it's like, oh, that's a cool app a friend turned me on to, and I want to download it, and the subscriptions are here. So what we're going to do today is talk about subscription checkups so that you can stop paying for what you don't use and keep those services you love. It's a great idea to think about, so let's think about this. Auto-renew is the default when you sign up for something and you forget about it, right? So they sneak up on us. Those free trials roll into paid subscriptions. Before you notice it, families often have duplicates because, two people are paying for the same service, especially when you have children that you may not even realize they're paying for a subscription on your credit card. Let's not matter. So how do we find those hidden subscriptions? Well, you can go on your iPhone and settings in your name. It'll allow you to search subscriptions. On an Android, you can do Google Play and look at payments and subscriptions, or your bank cards, real easy. Again, setting recurring, looking for the word recur, Apple, Google, Amazon. A lot of those are really important to, just double-check your bank account. Again, a great tip is to set a phone reminder every few months to review. Again, think about monthly versus yearly subscriptions, right? Monthly subscriptions offer that more flexibility. You can cancel at any time if you're not using the service. Good for testing out a new platform like a streaming service or a fitness app, but usually cost more if you stay subscribed. Yearly plans typically are cheaper. Many services offer a 10 to 20% discount. Sell it and forget it. No monthly billing on track. But then you have less flexibility. You're locked in. So if you stop using that service that you've already paid for. So here's a tip. For a new service, start monthly to see if you actually really like it and you get it going. Once you know that it's worth, switch to an annual savings plan. Then for seasonal services like your sports streaming or your tax prep monthly, may still be a better deal to do that monthly. So tools that can help are Rocket Money, formerly the Truebill, or Mint. They show a lot of your recurring charges, and you can help cancel unused ones. Again, Apple, Google Family Sharing. Share one subscription across that family household. And streaming tips, rotate. Don't pay for every platform all the time. Subscribe to one or few at a time. I know for myself, I've got 4 or 5 subscriptions online viewing content, and let me tell you, I haven't watched them for a while. So their quick checklist is check your phone settings for your app subscriptions, review your bank accounts for hidden charges, use Rocket Money or Mint to spot duplicates, share plans with family instead of doubling up, rotate those services seasonally, and save money. So this week, take 15 minutes to do a subscription checkup, cancel one service that you don't use, and you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Remember, it's every little bit that counts. So that today is your tech tip for staying smart, saving money. Until next time.
Well, that's awesome. Well, of course, these tips will eventually end up on the PSNL Marketing Group blog, and I thank you for giving us some really wonderful tips. Just as a quick follow-up regarding all those different subscriptions that one may have, and I know I'm guilty of this and not really paying attention at times, but there are just so many out there. And then when I decide that I don't want to have that subscription anymore, then I'll do the unsubscribe. I'll try to stop the payment, the whole 9 yards, and invariably the next month the payment still comes out, and then trying to get a live person to speak to is really, really frustrating.
It is. it is. So,
have you encountered that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I think it's also really important if you can use American Express for all your subscriptions, right? You want to make sure that, because trying to get people on the phone is not working. But I am finding that the online chat services are working really well. So, again, it's why it's really important to track what you actually have subscriptions for so that you can really monitor and do reviews quickly.
And then, of course, you have to really look out for all those scams out there, all those emails that seem so real, but they're really not.
Exactly. So again, like when you see those opportunities for subscriptions and different ways to use things, when it comes to subscriptions, it's really thinking about the fact that you want to make sure that you track them and go to the full sites themselves and see if the same deal exists. Deals are great, but if it's a scam, it's not going to be great in the long run. So you want to be site direct.
Interesting. So, Shelley, I often joke, especially when you're in the Philadelphia area, where are you calling from today? Where are you today?
We are in the Hampton Beach area today.
Oh, nice. The weather is beautiful.
Getting ready to head to an airport. I have my beautiful friend Claudia here with me, who's a journalist from Reno, and so we just had a lovely weekend in Exeter.
Oh, that's so cool. Nice. Well, that's great. So, we'll continue to enjoy the wonderful sun and the wonderful scenery of Hampton Beach, and safe travels, my friend. And we'll catch up with you next Saturday.
#Imagine.
#Indeed. Shelley Wolf. How do our listeners contact you? I didn't give you that shout out.
Yes. If they are interested in learning or want to reach out, they can reach us at info@podproentertainment.com.
#Indeed. Shelley, thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Have a great day, everybody.
You as well. Thanks.
Thanks.
Well, as Arthur Boyle says, it's not time to make the donuts, it's time to pay some bills. So let's hear from our sponsors.
Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Manakesett Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision, happy to work for you. Have you tried Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that's steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857.
Five-time Hall of Fame inductee President Dave Caiazzo from the National Italian-American Sports Hall of Fame Massachusetts chapter invites you to its Hall of Fame induction ceremony at 1 p.m. on Sunday, October 5th at Anthony's of Malden. Congrats to Zavarian Brothers High School head football coach Al Finaro, past San Diego Padres farmhand Joe DiSarcina, and special Tony the Champ DeMarco Spirit Award recipient Catholic Memorial AD football coach John DiBiazzo. Please contact Paul at paulponders.com or President Dave Caiazzo at davecai.pitching@gmail.com for more ticket information. Are you looking for fencing and outdoor products? Look no further than Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus. When owner Mike Payne's customers have been asked why they chose Northeastern Fence, many said that there were three deciding factors: customer respect, excellent customer service, and quality products. I say that you need to add in 70-plus years of a family-run business with truly experienced sales and installation teams. So if you are in the market for fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors, please call Mike Payne and his crew at 781-233-3324 or email Mike at northeasternfence.com.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
We are back, and thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD, presented by Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus, where they have fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors. The call-in number here is 781-837-4900, and you could also find us on the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY. Download that Odyssey app, and you'll be able to be like my daughter Ann in California, just listening in on the Odyssey app. And it's really a great app that has thousands upon thousands of choices, but you know that your number one choice is going to be WATD 95.9. And a shout out to those nonprofits out there. You could reach me at paul@paulponders.com, and just give me a shout out and let me know that you want to be featured on Paul Ponders, you want to speak to me about a potential fundraiser, or you want to be a guest on the show. And you could also find me at paulponders.com, find subscription links to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, as well as finding past Paul Ponders and WATD shows. My next Paul Ponders podcast is dropping tomorrow night, and I say it is very punny. That's all I'll say. And congratulations to my dear friend David Boyle on his incredible event at the Pembroke Community Center the other night on Thursday night. Was to benefit the Pembroke Foundation, and he and a group of friends put together this great idea of the Friends from Rockland Trust, and it was a really great wine tasting, beer tasting event, and it benefited the building of a park, Veterans Memorial Park. And if you want to hear a really great segment, the illustrious Christine James did a wonderful, wonderful job with David Boyle. Check that out on YouTube on the ATD website. It was a really great evening, and David had texted me and said, it is a 3-ring circus here. This is unbelievable, and congratulations on just a at capacity, maybe slightly over capacity event, but congratulations, David Boyle and your friends, for doing a great job. And also just another shout out for the nonprofit work that I have coming up with the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame. You've heard the commercials, and that's coming up on October 5th in Malden at Anthony's, and we're honoring Joe DiSarcina. And locally, Coach Al Finaro of Zavarian is one of our inductees, and I just did a podcast with Coach Al, and that's going to be airing in October. And it was a great recording. Got to really know just a tremendous, true gentleman who really walks the walk and talks the talk. And he does a great job, and it's no wonder why he's had such a really successful career as an educator and also as a football coach. And also a shout-out to Coach John DiBiazzo, Catholic Memorial head football coach, and Coach Dibbs, as he's known. He's just an incredible gentleman, educator. He's done a great job. He had a great career at Everett High School and also at Catholic Memorial, and 16 Super Bowl titles is not too shabby. So Coach Dibbs is going to be receiving the first annual Tony the Champ DeMarco Spirit and Achievement Award, and it's truly deserving. And for ticket information, if you want to reach out to me at paul@paulponders.com, you can, but that's October 5th at Anthony's in Malden. Wonderful buffet is planned. And also, too, we have Johnny Peasy, comedian, magician extraordinaire, as our master of ceremonies, and President Dave Cayazzo and the committee are doing a fabulous job. And we have a meeting coming up on Monday night in the North End at Ristorante Saraceno. We're going to be meeting there and just finalizing some things with the event coming up, the Hall of Fame ceremony. So why don't we maybe check back with Tim? How about if we check back with Rob and Larry and Greg?
Hey, Paul.
Rob, how are you?
Good afternoon, Paul.
Hello again. How are you, my
great
friend?
Down here at Hingham Lumber.
Awesome,
Doing
awesome.
wonderful. How are you?
Doing well and having
Yeah,
a
we are
great
down
show.
here at Hingham Lumber.
Absolutely. So
Yeah,
why don't
this is
you...
great. We are.
Good, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, we're here at Hingham Lumber for the grand reopening, Paul. And I know you wanted to hear from Jennifer. I'm going to bring Jennifer Very back on here with us, if I can, to talk about what's still going on, because we still have a lot more hours of fun to go till 3 o'clock today as we celebrate the grand reopening, Jennifer.
We are having a blast. We are so grateful for such good weather. We got lots of trucks out. There's lots of kids beeping horns, and we're making crafts. We're painting. We have some refreshments and great raffles, and we hope whoever's listening, swing on by. There's still plenty to do.
Yeah, tell us about some of the raffles here. If people are listening and still have time to come down, but in order to win these things, you got to put your name in. So come on down to Hingham Lumber, Route 3A again. If you got the kids in the car, that's fine. Looks like people got the dogs as well. So come on by outside here. It's a great day. And Jennifer, what can people possibly win?
Well, we have Festool inside, who's got their own raffle. I think they're doing a set of earbuds from Festool. Then we have a great Ace bucket out here filled with all sorts of lawn and garden equipment, so you can get ready for fall. And then we have a contractor one, too, with lots of tools inside.
Tools.
Maybe a couple Hingham Lumber hats and gear in there. Yeah. And you know what? We got to make sure we leave a slot open, because I'd like you to pull those prizes.
Oh, yeah. We'll do some prizes. I think, Tim, you're in for Ron this afternoon, and we'll be doing that, I guess, towards the 3 o'clock, towards the end of the 2 o'clock hour.
Yeah, that would be awesome if we can pull it live.
Yeah, we'll do it live.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay. All right.
I love it.
Yeah, we'll do it live.
The pressure is
I'll write
on
it,
there.
and
I
we'll
love
do
it.
Live.
I love it.
This will be great. So come on down to Hingham Lumber. And, Paul, as you know, it's a beautiful day today. Great weather. You couldn't have asked for a better day to be outside today here at Hingham Lumber. You know, I was sad. I said, I'm not going to do deck day this year. But they said, no, the grand reopening. And this is much better, and we're not going to get sunburned.
No.
No.
Thank goodness you brought the tent this time.
This is great. We did bring the tent this time. So come on down. Still plenty of ice cream and other food.
Yes, we have lots of little snacks and refreshments. We'd love to share it with y'all.
All right, well, come on down. And then plus Larry Nelson and I are over here at the WATD table, and we've got the brand new WATD bags to give away, some reusable shopping bags for you. So you're going to get a lot of free stuff just for coming by and taking a look at Hingham Lumber, and you're going to be impressed when you go in the whole remodeled store, which looks great.
Thanks for making us your first stop after vacation, Rob.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, I was on vacation all week, and I said, I'm coming back right for a remote on a Saturday. But this is great. We've been having so much fun here. So, Jennifer, I wouldn't miss it. We got some, look at the people coming down here. You guys having fun at the Hingham Lumber?
We are.
Yeah. What town are you guys from?
Marshfield.
Marshfield. All right. Have you checked out the new store inside yet?
Briefly. It looks nice.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for coming down. Thanks for having us. Hingham Lumber. There we go. Jennifer, some more happy people here.
Yeah, a lot of happy kids, too.
All right.
That is
Come on
awesome.
down here.
That is
Hingham
awesome.
Lumber.
Awesome.
Thank
But
you, Paul.
Rob, you're welcome. You're welcome, my friend. But I want to hear about your vacation. Were you away, or was it a staycation?
Yeah, no, I mean, last year we did the staycation. It was kind of boring. So this year we said, let's just get out of here. And so the weather was actually very nice. It was good weather. We went down to a place we went in the summer, but it was a place in Connecticut, a nice resort, and I went in the water in September, so that was great. I went out in the water and waded out at low tide, and then all of a sudden we were going to go home and sit home for a few days, and we said, how about a last-minute trip to old North Conway, where I used to go with my grandfather. So we went to the White Mountains, and I got to stick my feet into the Echo Lake, so it was warm up there, too, in the valley. So I was very lucky, and nice to see some of the color as well. So Connecticut and New Hampshire all in 1 week, and Hingham Lumber.
How
about that,
awesome. That's awesome. Well, you're back on the air. What time on
I'll be on
Monday?
Monday at 5 a.m. for the 5 o'clock listeners, and then we'll have a lot of fun. Yeah, we love the 5 o'clock listeners. They're up early.
Look at this float, this
What's that?
banana split.
Is that a banana split? All right, let's see. What's your first name? Who's it?
Dana.
Dana, what town are you from?
I'm from Hull, Massachusetts.
He's from Hull, and
love Hingham Lumber.
he loves Hingham Lumber.
And I just found out why they're not Cohasset Lumber.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, because Hingham Lumber, Route 3A in Cohasset.
Jennifer would probably like to tell you the story.
Oh, yeah. How much time, Paul? Do we have about an hour to get into the history of Hingham Lumber from 1947?
59 minutes.
Enjoy the Sunday, though. That looks great. Yeah, look at you can get a Sunday here. Yeah. Yeah, so that's, I guess, where it used to be for all those years, right? Hingham Lumber was, I guess, now where the rail comes in. I imagine the rail delivered probably lumber back then.
Yes, it was. Eminent domain was claimed on the land that we had, and now the T-stop is there.
Yeah.
But actually it worked out for the best because we're in a very... an area where everyone can see us right now.
Yeah, it's just down the road, and so you're right. I mean, that's always the thing if you're saying Route 3A in Cohasset, Hingham Lumber, but that's the story about it. And so, yeah, the train, as you know, came back, Paul, with Greenbush, and but here it is, and that allowed them to make this state-of-the-art facility, which is just gorgeous.
Yeah,
that is fabulous.
We love it.
That's fabulous.
Please come down and see. If you can't make it today, please stop in when you can. It's beautiful.
Without a doubt.
Jennifer.
Without a doubt, Jennifer, thank you. And thank you and your company for your long-time support in advertising with WATD. Fabulous. So Rob, as they say, I'm going to make like a banana and split and make like a tree and leave. Ooh.
Thank you, Paul. I'll talk to you next time.
You're welcome, my friend. Be well now. Bye, Larry. Bye, Greg. Thank you. Well, we might as well. I know we have Gene Stico coming up on the line, but why don't we go to our commercial now, and then we'll get Gene Stico on the line.
Have you tried Brianville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Briantville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Briantville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Briantville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857. Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Maniquisett Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision. Happy to work for you.
Five-time Hall of Fame inductee, President Dave Caiazzo from the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame Massachusetts chapter invites you to its Hall of Fame induction ceremony at 1 p.m. on Sunday, October 5th at Anthony's of Malden. Congrats to Zavarian Brothers High School head football coach Al Finaro, past San Diego Padres farmhand Joe DiSarcina, and special Tony the Champ DeMarco Spirit Award recipient Catholic Memorial AD football coach John DiBiazzo. Please contact Paul at paulponders.com or President Dave Caiazzo at davekaipitching@gmail.com for more ticket information. Are you looking for fencing and outdoor products? Look no further than Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus. When owner Mike Payne's customers have been asked why they chose Northeastern Fence, many said that there were three deciding factors: customer respect, excellent customer service, and quality products. I say that you need to add in 70-plus years of a family-run business with truly experienced sales and installation teams. So if you are in the market for fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors, please call Mike Payne and his crew at 781-233-3324 or email Mike at northeasternfence.com.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
We are back. And thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD. The call-in number is 781-837-4900. And just before I go into our next segment, Arthur Boyle has his 50th high school reunion tonight in, I think, Woburn. And I'm actually going to my 45th high school reunion. That's going to be in Saugus. So time flies when you're having fun. Go Malden High. Well, at this point of the program, we have the community outreach segment sponsored by PS&L Marketing Group and the mortgage originators of Riverworks Credit Union. Calling in, we have my friend, retired Staff Sergeant, U.S. Air Force, Gene Seco, Engineering Infinity. Gene, welcome.
Paul, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's great to have you on again, and I know we've been following your travels and your experiences regarding this wonderful topic. And if you want to give our listeners any new developments on this UAP Disclosure Act in Congress.
Yeah, so that for the third time they put through the UAP Disclosure Act, and this one the community had a lot of high hopes for because it seemed to focus on much-needed whistleblower protections. Those are people that work with inside agencies and programs who have identified or have been trying to express concerns about congressional oversight. And unfortunately, the Senate knocked that down this week, so there will be no additional protections. There will be no additional mechanisms for congressional oversight of budgets that touch on a lot of these issues. So a little bit of a loss, but we have the chairwoman of that task force, Representative Anna Paulina Luna, who is now looking to take a new pivot towards working with Russia, interestingly enough, in trying to get more clarity around UAP-related research and programs.
Well, Gene, I don't want to interrupt you and all, but just for our listeners who are just tuning in for the first time or who did not hear your interview with Rob and Beth on the South Shore Morning News Show last week, would you please let our listeners know what this is all about with the UAP and in this book?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I got involved in this community really formally earlier this year, back in June. So it goes back to 2019 when, after the death of my father-in-law, my wife and I discovered about 119 pages of his research. He was an engineer, aerospace engineer and physicist in the USSR, in the former Soviet Union. And that body of work, 12 different works in all, detail the Russian program for reverse engineering a UFO. So we spent about 4 years translating it, finally publishing it at the end of 2024. And since about June 2025, I've gotten involved in the UAP, UFO disclosure community, trying to bring attention, not only to these documents, but also correlating how the science of my father-in-law's work correlates directly to U.S. government research programs. So, in short, if people are looking to the government for answers, a lot of the answers are out there, but they're compartmentalized between all of these different scientific domains where research has occurred. And if you looked at it independently in each piece in and of itself, it just sort of seems like interesting research. But when you correlate it against my father-in-law's unified body of work specifically addressing a UFO as he describes it, it's a one-for-one comparison. So it's a challenge. It's an interesting message to be getting out there. It challenges some preconceived notions, and it also seemingly exposes what it is that the government has been working on for at least the past 50 or so years, and how it relates to what the Russians are doing.
And it really is quite interesting that the Senate just killed this bill, this topic.
It is. There certainly seems to be a lot of support for it. Senator Schumer and Gillibrand are very vocal supporters of it in the Senate. I think, part of what might have been the kiss of death was Schumer tried to stick in the Epstein files in there. And as politicians will do, right? We try and get something else in there last minute if you stick it at the bottom of the deck. and it didn't, and it didn't fly. And I think it's an important issue overall. As I talked about, there's these whistleblower protections. These are people in all agencies have these programs. They're people we want to come forward who talk about fraud, waste, abuse, misappropriation, right down to issues that should be of public interest to U.S. citizens, and resources that are perhaps being misused in one direction rather than things that could benefit society at large. So, it's not just a science issue. It's not just a cool thing to know. This research represents potential groundbreaking efforts in medical care, in energy generation, things that are kitchen table issues, but it's got this somewhat niche and somewhat taboo subject matter around it when you start talking about the potential for non-human intelligence and technology that comes from someplace other than Earth, potentially.
Yeah, and I will say that I did receive a phone call offline about this topic of conversation, and it was basically, well, I'm not a Trekkie, I'm not into UFOs, I didn't even like My Favorite Martian. Why are you having this on the air? Well, the fact is that you actually have a gentleman's Soviet engineer's years of research and science in your possession.
Exactly. This isn't, and it's not about science, right? It's not about sci-fi. It's not about Star Trek or Star Wars. And the fact of the matter is, as you said, this is real science. It's real science that is being pursued not only within the government circles. There's plenty of independent companies that are looking, at this body of work and have been looking at things like advanced propulsion and energy systems and all that as well. So it transcends, like I said, the cool part of it, let's say, which is this sort of sci-fi ET aspect, and really makes you have to question technology advancements and the speed at which we make these advancements, the origins and genesis of where the ideas and where the technology comes from. And a lot of that, again, if it proves to flush out and be true, fundamentally changes the story of humanity and changes history in a lot of ways. But in much more impactful ways, it advances us into the future as a society when it comes to things like, again, energy and medical and transportation and new industries, as well as just in general what we're doing in space and what companies and Elon Musk and SpaceX and NASA are looking to do when it comes to Mars and exploration and space tourism and a space-based economy, which is, again, the future where we're going anyway. So why not know more and have a better grip of the past?
Right. Those are true legacy programs, my friend, and you and your wife Natalia are really onto something, and I wish you the best on that. Off the top of my head, isn't there some sort of symposium coming up in October?
Yeah, October 5th on Sunday. We're looking to actually bring it to Malden and open it up to the community. They've had to have a change of venue, so we're scrambling a little bit now to get that together and get the details out. But I'll be speaking, and the gentleman from MUFON, Massachusetts, Mutual UFO Network, he's got some great speakers coming, including Professor Avi Loeb from Harvard, who's in the news recently about the 3I Atlas comet or object that's been observed. There's another physicist from Harvard who's coming to speak about research. He does a lot of that research, correlates as well to my father-in-law's work, and he's got a few other interesting UAP type investigators and some other scientists. So again, it's much more mainstream than perhaps a lot of people grew up with now, and there's a lot more solid science behind it, and a lot of very reputable, highly credentialed academics coming forward to bring it all together.
So I'm sure a lot of people are coming out of the woodwork and chiming in with their own stance, or maybe even collaborating with you, right?
Absolutely. And again, we have some of those discussions in the early stages, and as I said, there's one advanced propulsion company that they're being somewhat publicly quiet about it because they think they unlocked something they had been working on for a long time, and since I did publish this work, they don't want somebody else in the field to get a hold of it and do the same thing before they've had a chance to release their findings in research and ultimately product.
Wow. Well, in the last 3-4 minutes we have, why don't we get that website out for our listeners to log into and check out your publication?
Yeah, thanks. Yes, engineeringinfinitybook.com. Right on the main page, there is a flipbook version of all 294 pages of the original scans alongside the English translation. And then up in the menu, people can investigate a lot of the research and these correlations that I've talked about, everything from how the science explains various phenomena that's been observed through the alignment with U.S. research and development programs, U.S. defense programs that specifically counter the type of technology that's outlined in my father-in-law's work, along with the comparison of where the U.S. is versus where Russia is, and the different approaches that seem to have been taken based upon the data that's available to us towards achieving all the elements of the scientific domains that are included in the work. And for those that are interested in investigating, there's even some methodologies and models that they can take to the field and go out and go searching themselves.
Interesting. So I'm joking, but I'm serious. But you're doing all this work, but what do you do in your spare time, Gene?
Yeah, exactly. It's become a passion project, and and to the phone call you received, that person's earlier point. This wasn't my this has not been a lifelong interest, passion, pursuit. I often joke I'm hardly still interested in it to a large degree, but again the body of work is so impactful for its potential. Natalia and I really felt this responsibility towards humanity to publish it. And everyone thought I was crazy. They're like, oh, why didn't you just patent everything, off the bat? And I said, because, again, the way this struck us was like, this is important to humanity one way or another, or, or history. And so it just seemed more important to just put it out there, share it, and let people much smarter than I dive down into the details. But on the same token, also carrying forward the responsibility of curating the work as it may be right now, and continuing to get it out until that happens. And wow. We do that at engineeringinfinitybook.com.
That is fabulous. And we might as well give a quick shout out to your wife, Natalia, if we want to just maybe allude to what her career entails.
Yeah, so, well, as normal would be for a Russian physicist's daughter, she's a international opera singer, and people can learn more about her at nataliasticco.com. That's NATALJASTICCO. Or just throw it in Google, and she pops up on iTunes and Spotify. And she's a brilliant operatic soprano, and we're getting into the planning process, and we'll be ready to come back and talk to you soon about some of her concerts for the winter and in the holiday season.
That is fabulous. Well, Gene Sticco, I want to thank you for being on and look forward to catching up soon, my friend, and you be well.
Thank you very much, Paul. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you, and enjoy the day. Well, I want our listeners to stay tuned to WATD for Tim filling in for Ron Dwyer, who is the grand poobah of oldies rock and roll. Ron, I say it every week, but you really are the true leader of the pack with great musical memories of yesteryear. So we're going to see how the 25-year anniversary Tim McKenney does with the show, with the great music that he'll be playing. But listeners can go to paulponders.com to find subscription links to Apple Podcasts and Spotify and YouTube, as well as finding past Paul Ponders and WATD shows. Thanks again to Tim, Arthur, Shelley, Rob, Gene, and our advertisers. But really, thank you, listeners in WATD world and beyond. Keep Paul pondering. #Indeed.